What is right is not always popular, and what is popular is not always right. Education is what remains after one has forgotten what one has learned in school. Not everything that can be counted counts, and not everything that counts can be counted. Everybody is a genius. But if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will live its whole life believing that it is stupid. You can't blame gravity for falling in love. Common sense is the collection of prejudices acquired by age 18. The only source of knowledge is experience. Any man who reads too much and uses his own brain too little falls into lazy habits of thinking. There comes a time when the mind takes a higher plane of knowledge but can never prove how it got there. We cannot solve our problems with the same thinking we used when we created them. I think and think for months and years. 99 times, the conclusion is false. The 100th time I am right. Human beings must have action, and they will make it if they cannot find it. The most incomprehensible thing about the world is that it is comprehensible. To raise new questions, new possibilities, to regard old problems from a new angle, require creative imagination and marks real advance in science. Peace cannot be kept by force. It can only be achieved by understanding. The greatest glory in living lies not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. Any intelligent fool can make things bigger and more complex. It takes a touch of genius, and a lot of courage to move in the opposite direction. Education is not the learning of facts, it's rather the training of the mind to think. There are two ways to live. You can live as if nothing is a miracle. You can live as if everything is a miracle. The difference between genius and stupidity is that genius has its limits. Concern for man and his fate must always form the chief interest of all technical endeavors. Never forget this in the midst of your diagrams and equations. The most beautiful experience we can have is the mysterious. It is the fundamental emotion that stands at the cradle of true art and true science. A clever person solves a problem. A wise person avoids it. Don't limit yourself. Many people limit themselves to what they think they can do. You can go as far as your mind lets you. What you believe, remember, you can achieve. I've missed more than 9,000 shots in my career. I've lost almost 300 games. 26 times I've been trusted to take the game-winning shot and missed. I've failed over and over and over again in my life, and that is why I succeed. I wake up every morning and think to myself, how far can I push this company in the next 24 hours? We need to accept that we won't always make the right decisions, that we'll screw up royally sometimes, understanding that failure is not the opposite of success, it's part of success. You've gotta dance like there's nobody watching, love like you'll never be heard, sing like there's nobody listening, and live like it's heaven on earth. Fairy tales are more than true, not because they tell us that dragons exist, but because they tell us that dragons can be beaten. When one door of happiness closes, another opens, but often we look so long at the closed door that we do not see the one which has been opened for us. You can get everything in life you want if you will just help enough other people get what they want. Don't settle for average. Bring your best to the moment. Then, whether it fails or succeeds, at least you know you gave all you had. If you believe something needs to exist, if it's something you want to use yourself, don't let anyone ever stop you from doing it. First, forget inspiration. Habit is more dependable. Habit will sustain you whether you're inspired or not. Habit will help you finish and polish your stories. Inspiration won't. Habit is persistence in practice. The battles that count aren't the ones for gold medals. The struggles within yourself, the invisible, inevitable battles inside all of us, that's where it's at. Someone will declare, "I am the leader," and expect everyone to get in line and follow him or her to the gates of heaven or hell. My experience is that it doesn't happen that way. Others follow you based on the quality of your actions rather than the magnitude of your declarations. Develop success from failures. Discouragement and failure are two of the surest stepping stones to success. Relentlessly prune bullshit, don't wait to do things that matter, and savor the time you have. That's what you do when life is short. If the highest aim of a captain were to preserve his ship, he would keep it in port forever. You can be the ripest, juiciest peach in the world, and there's still going to be somebody who hates peaches. Nothing in the world can take the place of persistence. Talent will not. Nothing is more common than unsuccessful men with talent. Genius will not. Unrewarded genius is almost a proverb. Education will not. The world is full of educated derelicts. The only way of discovering the limits of the possible is to venture a little way past them into the impossible. Courage is the most important of all the virtues because without courage, you can't practice any other virtue consistently. The reason we struggle with insecurity is because we compare our behind the scenes with everyone else's highlight reel. There are 3 ways to ultimate success. The first way is to be kind. The second way is to be kind. The third way is to be kind. I learned a long time ago that there is something worse than missing the goal, and that's not pulling the trigger.